What's up, everyone? It's Sunny So Sovereign. I'm happy to be back. Today, a very special day. We're going to be talking about, you guys know it, Bitcoin, finally. Chapter 5 of Money Matters. If you guys haven't, go check out Chapter 4 where we speak about centralized versus decentralized monetary infrastructure. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen what's going on in the markets lately. Let me go ahead and refresh this page for you guys so you guys can see. We're almost to a 6-digit Bitcoin in terms of American fiat money, US dollar bills, but definitely history in the making. The most strongest, most resilient, most impactful decentralized network we have seen till date. Big salute to the Bitcoin network. Big salute to all the good intended nodes and miners out there keeping this network alive. And yeah, we're going to talk more about that as we get in deeper into Bitcoin. So again, finally unveiling the future of money and introduction to Bitcoin. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it, shall we? Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. In 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto published a document called the Bitcoin White Paper, which explained in detail what Bitcoin is and how it works. He shared it with the online community of tech enthusiasts known as cypherpunks, and they quickly gained attention for its innovative approach to digital currency. Satoshi Nakamoto's goal for Bitcoin was to create a decentralized digital currency that was accessible to anyone with internet connection, with transparent and fair transactions that were permanently recorded on a secure distributed ledger, the blockchain. But here's the catch. No one knows who Satoshi Nakamoto really is. The identity of Satoshi remains an enigma to this day, making him one of the most fascinating and cryptic figures in the world of technology. Satoshi Nakamoto is estimated to have around 1 million Bitcoin, which will make them one of the richest individuals in the world if their identity were to be revealed. Satoshi Nakamoto is believed to be a native Japanese speaker, as the original Bitcoin software and white paper were written in perfect English, but some of the comments in the code are written in Japanese. Satoshi Nakamoto authored only a few hundred forum posts and emails in his time, but most are still available online to give you a glimpse into the mind and motivation of Bitcoin's creator. It is also possible that Satoshi Nakamoto could be a group of people and not just a single individual. In the early days of Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto was quite active in the community, answering questions and helping to troubleshoot issues. However, they abruptly disappeared in 2011 and has not been heard from since. Satoshi Nakamoto's true identity has been the subject of much speculation, with several people claiming to be the real Satoshi over the years. However, none of these claims have been conclusively proven. While Satoshi was the primary architect behind Bitcoin, they didn't work alone. There was undoubtedly great input and assistance from influential figures in tech and cryptography, included Wei Dai and Nick Szabo. Sorry if I butchered that. Super sorry. Despite facing challenges such as technical issues and skepticism from the community, his creation inspired the development of many other technologies and gained widespread adoption. Even with controversies it has faced, Bitcoin remains king in a world of cryptocurrencies. Now we're going to talk about the differences between Bitcoin with a capital B and Bitcoin with a lowercase b. This may seem funny, silly to learn, but as you guys, for people that's really going to go ahead and dive deeper into wanting to understand Bitcoin, Bitcoin with a capital B is going to refer to the Bitcoin network as a whole. Bitcoin with lowercase b is going to represent, people are usually talking about the currency Bitcoin. So a little bit more, the difference between Bitcoin capital B and Bitcoin lowercase b lies in the usage. Bitcoin with a capital B refers to the entire network, protocol, and system of decentralized digital currency. It encompasses everything related to the digital cash system, including its underlying technology, blockchain, mining process, and its decentralized nature. It's a comprehensive term used to describe the entire system or ecosystem of digital currency, its technology, and its impact on finance and the digital economy. Now, Bitcoin with the lowercase b refers to the unit of currency within the Bitcoin network. It represents the individual digital coins that are used for transactions and stored in digital wallets. Have you ever thought about using Bitcoin, but been put off because of the price of a whole coin? Don't worry, you're not alone. The good news is that you don't have to buy a whole coin to start using it. Just like you can purchase a fraction of a dollar with coins, you can also purchase a fraction of a Bitcoin. One Bitcoin is divisible into 100 million units called Satoshis. So you can buy any amount of Bitcoin, even a small amount. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a form of digital currency existing solely within the Bitcoin network. Unlike physical currency such as banknotes or dollar bills, Bitcoins cannot be physically touched. Instead, they are digital units that represent ownership records within the Bitcoin network. Similar to how every dollar bill bears a unique serial number for identification and anti-counterfeiting purposes, each Bitcoin transaction is associated with a unique transaction ID. This serves as a digital fingerprint enabling the identification of Bitcoins and their transaction history. In the Bitcoin network, the creation of new Bitcoins and their distribution are tracked collectively by all participants. This process is evident in the Coinbase transaction, found as the first transaction in every block. Despite its name, it has no association with the Coinbase company. The Coinbase transaction serves a unique purpose. It generates new Bitcoins and rewards the miner responsible for successfully adding the block to the blockchain. This reward includes both a fixed amount of newly created Bitcoin, known as the block subsidy, and any transaction fees collected from transactions included in the block. This transaction is essential for incentivizing miners to contribute their computational power to secure the network and process transactions. In today's digital era, value can exist without a physical form. Just as a dollar bill serial number is a unique combination of 11 numbers and letters, Bitcoin possesses their own distinctive digital identification, ensuring the authenticity and traceability within the Bitcoin network. How do you spend or send your Bitcoin? All you need is an internet connection. The process of sending Bitcoin is just like sending an email. To send an email, you open your email's client, enter the recipient's email address, type a message, and click send. Similarly, to Bitcoin, to send someone some Bitcoin or spend some Bitcoin, when you are purchasing something, you open up your wallet, you enter the recipient's Bitcoin address, you input the amount of Bitcoin you want to send, and you click send. How do you receive Bitcoin? To acquire Bitcoin, you can either buy it online, accept it as a gift from someone, or receive it as payment for goods or services. Alternatively, you can mine Bitcoin by using a computing device. Once obtained, you store it in a wallet. Can Bitcoin, the network, be shut down? Attempts to shut down the Bitcoin network are improbable because Bitcoin is decentralized. There is no central company or organization that controls it. Instead, the software is open source, allowing anyone to download it, use it, and run it on their computer. Governments may try to restrict access to Bitcoin, akin to controlling internet access. However, people can employ tools like VPNs to bypass such restrictions. Moreover, due to its digital nature, Bitcoin can be concealed relatively easy, making it more resilient against confiscation compared to physical assets like gold or real estate. Despite being illegal in some jurisdictions, people continue to access the Bitcoin network. Furthermore, some countries have endeavored to regulate Bitcoin by creating their own central bank digital currency, with varying reactions anticipated. Some may embrace the centralized system, while others may favor decentralized alternatives like Bitcoin. How does the blockchain keep track of who spends which Bitcoin? And I'm sorry about the little mistake there, that should be lowercase. You know how you can't spend the same dollar bill twice? Bitcoin similarly works to ensure that you can't spend the same digital coin twice. Before Bitcoin, it was possible to send transactions across the network of computers, but there was a problem. People could send fraudulent transactions, attempting to spend the same coin twice. This is called double spending. Bitcoin addresses this issue by leveraging the collective efforts of all computers on the network. When a new transaction is sent, it is broadcasted to all computers, or nodes, and once verified, it is retained in the memory pool, mempool, before being confirmed onto the blockchain for final settlement. This process, called mining, ensures that no double spending transactions are ever recorded on the blockchain. It operates like a robust competition where no participant can cheat, ensuring the safety of your Bitcoin. This is how Bitcoin achieved consensus, all without any physical altercation. Periodically, every 10 minutes on average, one of the computers earned the opportunity to add all the pending transactions from memory to the blockchain, or from mempool to the blockchain. Then, all the other computers validate the work and the process continues. This mechanism ensures the integrity and accuracy of the blockchain ledger. How do new Bitcoins enter the network? To compensate miners for their efforts, every time they add a new block to the blockchain, they receive a reward in the form of a newly minted Bitcoin, or Bitcoins. Currently, miners are rewarded with 3.125 BTC for every block they successfully mine. What is a Bitcoin transaction? A Bitcoin transaction entails the transfer of ownership of existing Bitcoin units to a new owner. However, instead of physically transferring coins, all nodes in the network update their local records of the distributed ledger, reflecting the change in ownership. It's like an advanced version of updating a ledger, where the ledger is externalized and visible to the public for verification. Example: Mark and Ruby wish to exchange one Bitcoin. In Bitcoin, there are no physical coins. Instead, there are updates to the blockchain, which both parties can view. When Mark sends one Bitcoin to Ruby, it's a peer-to-peer transaction, directly transferring ownership from Mark to Ruby. However, Ruby doesn't receive a digital coin from Mark. Instead, all nodes update their local copies of the public ledger, reflecting the change in ownership from Mark's address to Ruby. A Bitcoin transaction is essentially a digital signed message that Mark sends to the network. This message undergoes various steps, including being picked up by some full nodes, validated, and broadcasted until all nodes independently verify it. The signature represents the transaction details, including the amount of Bitcoin being sent, Mark's address as the sender, and Ruby address as the recipient. How does cryptography work in Bitcoin transactions? In traditional encryption scenarios such as email communication, John and Errol would share a secret key beforehand, akin to a password. John would then utilize the secret key to encrypt his message before transmission. Errol, possessing the same secret key, could decrypt the message upon receiving it. However, if Ronnie intercepts the message, possessing the same shared key, he could also decrypt and access its content. In the realm of Bitcoin transaction, public key cryptography takes center stage. In this setup, John and Errol each hold two distinct keys, a public key and a private key. John uses his private key to encrypt the message, rendering it accessible solely to Errol, who possessed the corresponding public key, recipient's address. The message undergoes encryption using John's private key and decryption using Errol's public key. Consequently, without the corresponding public key, even with the message, decryption remains unattainable. When executing a Bitcoin transaction, the sender, let's say Mark, employs their private key to generate a digital signature for the transaction details. The signature affirms Mark's ownership of the Bitcoin being transferred. The recipient, Robbie, and any observer can verify the authenticity of the transaction using Mark's public key. In summary, Bitcoin harnesses public key cryptography to ensure the security and integrity of transactions. The public and private key pairs, alongside the digital signature mechanism, enable robust verification and validation within the Bitcoin network. How do people find value in Bitcoin? Let's talk about Bitcoin's supply cap. Bitcoin supply is capped at 21 million, unlike fiat currencies that governments can print. This scarcity is enforced through the Bitcoin protocol, designed to ensure the predictable and finite supply of Bitcoin over time. Currently, there are around 19 million Bitcoins in circulation, with the remaining 2 million Bitcoin to be mined gradually until around year 2140. This scarcity contributes to the Bitcoin value proposition as digital gold. Bitcoin, as a decentralized digital currency, boasts several significant benefits compared to traditional fiat currency. Decentralization and security. Unlike traditional banking systems that rely on centralized entities, Bitcoin operates on a decentralized network of computers, ensuring greater security and resilience against hacking attempts and fraud. Lower transaction fees. Bitcoin transactions often entail lower fees compared to traditional banking and payment systems, particularly for international transactions, making it a cost-effective alternative. Transparency and accountability. Bitcoin's blockchain technology ensures that all transactions are recorded on a public ledger, enhancing transparency and accountability. This feature curbs corruption and fraudulent activities, promoting financial integrity. Accessibility and financial inclusion. Bitcoin allows anyone with internet connection to participate in the global economy, promoting financial inclusion for the unbanked and underbanked populations. Traditional banking systems often exclude millions of people worldwide due to various barriers. Borderless transactions. Bitcoin transactions can cross borders without the need for intermediaries, simplifying and expediting international payments. This feature is particularly beneficial for businesses and individuals engaged in cross-border trade. Store value. Bitcoin's limited supply and its decentralized nature have positioned it as a store of value akin to digital code. The characteristics makes it an attractive investment option and hedge against inflation. Immutability and trustlessness. Once a Bitcoin transaction is confirmed and recorded on the blockchain, it cannot be altered or reversed, ensuring the immutability of transactions. Moreover, Bitcoin operates on a trustless system, eliminating the need for intermediaries, which enhances efficiency and security. These attributes collectively contribute to Bitcoin's growing acceptance and adoption as a transformative financial technology with the potential to reshape the future of money and finance. Hope you guys like that. That was an introduction to Bitcoin. Next chapter, chapter 6, we're going to be talking more about wallets and whatnot. So hope you guys enjoyed this. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make this quiz. So stay tuned for the quiz so you guys can see how much you guys have learned from this chapter. Hopefully you guys learned a lot. Again, I'm Sunny and Soul Sovereign. I'm out.